So quite recently, an ambitious friend of mine was talking about how we should work hard to like own um, private jets and yeah, all these luxuries. And I found that interesting because I'd never thought of like owning a luxury jet like ever. So I was just thinking like, okay, why would I do that to myself? Like that's there's a realistic expectation, and then there's like beyond realistic expectation. And just for context, um, if you're somebody who grew up rich, yeah, then owning a private jet is like standard, I guess. Maybe it's even acceptable or expected. But I grew up in Zambia, and if you know anything about Zambia, Zambia is like a developing nation, and it's just for context, uh, a person who makes $1,000 per month in Zambia is in the top 1% of the population. No kidding. Yeah, so I grew up in a middle class family in Zambia. Yeah, so like realistic goals, if for you to like really kill the success, is you make something like maybe you have like one luxury car and a farm somewhere. Yeah, somewhere everything would cost, I suspect, maybe less than $50,000. Yeah, so the cost of a private jet is about $2 million. Like that's just for context. That's buying it, and then it's got maintenance costs, which I think exceed even that. And um, in that moment, I realized the wisdom in most philosophers talk about real wealth. So Socrates, I think he said the the true the secret to happiness is not in wanting more, but it's in enjoying, developing the capacity to enjoy less. So it's not in wanting more things, but in developing the capacity to be happy with less. And I get the wisdom because, we suffer because of our desires. And a lot of philosophers have said this in one way or the other. And our desires are the source of our suffering. So the greater your desire, the more suffering you have. And the less desire you have, then the less suffering you have. You're at peace. Yeah, so in that moment, I was realizing like, okay, why would I realistically, somebody from a middle class background in a developing nation, want to own a private jet? Like $2 million. If you convert it to my country, I think that's like 50 million kwacha, which is like, I don't know, probably 200 people's pensions, average people's pensions. Yeah, average income earners pensions. Yeah, your 200 average earners pensions here. And yeah, so you already see like the mismatch. Like if I was to probably touch $2 million, I don't know if I would spend it on a private jet, truthfully speaking. And I wouldn't even aim that high because it's it's like putting yourself to, it's like making yourself suffer. So of course, if God ever blesses me with that much money, then yeah, of course I'd accept the private jet. But I'm not even sure if I would keep it. I would probably like maybe just sell it to sort out some of the problems in our communities here. That's what I think. Anyway, maybe my thoughts would change if I do become rich enough to actually own a private jet. But it's not something that I'm aiming for. Like I try to be a bit more realistic with what I can achieve, going from like medium income family in in a developing nation, and you're middle class. You can't really aim to be like in the US or these rich countries. Like that's upper class, because even people in the US don't own private jets. So my point is that generally we suffer because of our desires, and don't let yourself like suffer too much by, of course, like aiming too high, way too high. That's unrealistic because you die suffering. You're better off just being realistic and enjoying what you have. And there's a difference between contentment and complacency. So appreciating the things you have and accepting them, living below your means, that's actually the greatest form of wealth. I think there are a lot of people who have said that. So Socrates has said it in the quote I just gave you, and in the Buddhist, I think Buddha actually says that contentment is the greatest form of wealth. And the Christianity also has its principles, very similar principles, stating that contentment is a form of wealth. So by being content, you're actually making yourself wealthy. So if you're somebody who's just grateful for that you have a roof over your head, that you've got food, you don't struggle with water, and you've got enough to provide for your family, to solve your problems, then you're a wealthy person. You don't need private jets. You don't need luxury cars. If you can just be content, then you're wealthy in that moment. Of course, contentment and complacency are different. So complacency is you've got the potential to do more, and you're accepting to be mediocre. So don't be complacent. Like always aim to maximize your potential, to really stretch your limits. But as you're doing that, like don't go past what is possible, because you make yourself miserable. Yeah. And if there's something about learning, actually, when it comes to learning, there's a principle that you learn best when you're pushing slightly outside your comfort zone. I think about 4% outside your comfort zone. So if you're pushing there, then that's where your fastest growth happens. But if it's something beyond 4% or 5%, if it goes to maybe 10%, then it becomes overwhelming, and it actually makes you perform poorly. And if you aim too low again, you lack the motivation, because you're going to just walk past that. So even your goals should just be like 4% outside your comfort zone. And I think it intertwines with that same principle of contentment and complacency. Like, how far should you aim? So about just 4% outside what is possible. Yeah, but don't go beyond that. Like, you need to be realistic about these things. And if, of course, you do get those luxuries, and it's a plus. It happens. You thank God. I believe in God, so you thank God for that, and you take your lesson, and you share your blessings. Yeah, but if it doesn't happen, then again, like you don't lose anything, because you're already happy with what you have. Yeah, so every day just be grateful for everything that you get, because gratitude is a very powerful emotion. Like I think it's the foundation of all emotions. So if you're grateful, then everything else is a bonus. So you won't live with anxiety, you won't live with envy. You already killed envy, because you're already content with what you have, and everything which comes as a result is a plus. So you're wealthy in that moment, even though you don't have, by the world standards, a rich life, but for you, you're rich. You know, I actually remember there's an example of somebody who won first place, and he's been winning first place, so it came naturally. He was expecting to win first place, and then the person who got second place was upset that they didn't get first place, and then there's someone who got third place, and he's happy about getting third place and winning that medal. He's lifting his medal and screaming like crazy. Of course, maybe he's not the best objectively, but he's the happiest. So he's the one who really felt like he won. You know, so our perspective of things makes us winners or losers. They make us rich or poor just from our own perspective. So I hope that gives you some insight or some perspective when it comes to wealth, contentment, and complacency, and I hope it helps you somehow. Yeah, so you can be rich in this moment right now by being thankful for what you have. Like, trust me, if you can hear me, you can see me, then your eyes, your ears, those ones are worth $1 million, $2 million. You can't trade that for any amount of money. I dare you. Yeah, so just be thankful for those gifts. You have a great gift of family. Like, no one is going to give you that. Like, and you'll never buy it back when you lose that. So you are blessed with millions, even if there's nothing in your bank account. If you can see me, you have sight, you're a millionaire. You know, so you just have to be thankful for that, and just strive to just improve your condition. Don't set unrealistic objectives, like goals, and private jets. If they do come, let them come and be grateful for them. Thank God for them. But if they don't, then you won't be you won't be shaken, you won't be bothered. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps with the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.